Get your Unsi and Bahor rocks today from IamMelaninMagic.com. I am Melanin Magic, and so are you. Experience the I Am Melanin Magic difference by going to our website, www.IamMelaninMagic.com, and purchasing your products today. I am Melanin Magic, and so are you.
Locs, beauty tips, and potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Tanisha's Locs, beauty tips, and potpourri. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? I hope that everyone is feeling peaceful, productive, prosperous, living in plenty, whatever plenty is being defined as you, and passionately on purpose. Welcome to the channel today, you all. Today we are talking about taking care of your hair. Taking care of your hair as in venturing out to do your own reties, or maybe even finding a new loctician if you need one. So if this looks like a video that you want to stick around for, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to like and share it. Comment, please. I love your comments. Your comments drive the content for this channel. Shout out to all of you beautiful souls that are showing up in the comment section. Next video, or the one after that, because the next video, we got to get back to this because we're doing this once a week as well. This will likely be the one we do on Wednesday nights. This kind of content is the kind of content I'll be bringing to you on Sundays. And I do have to catch up with the commentary, but I most definitely will be giving a shout out and acknowledging for those of you beautiful sisters that show up in the comment section. Okay? I asked about the black tulip, you all, and why I made the black tulip my Butterfly Transformations logo. I need you to think a little bit harder about what the black tulip represents. Okay, this is positive energy, it's good stuff. It's not an amulet or anything like that. I want you to think about why I might have chosen the black tulip. I think I only have 2 comments so far. And that's going to be you need to text that in the comments. When I see the right one, I'll do a giveaway, all right? You get a giveaway of a trial of the Unsi, all right? But anyway, back at the ranch. So, if you have not seen the posted in the community tab where I'm asking you when you prefer to do the live Zoom, the Zoom is live. That's an oxymoron. That's redundant. If you want to do it on a Saturday night or a Sunday night, you need to vote. There's a poll. If you're not sure what I'm talking about and you're on my channel, sometimes you can be watching someone's channel from a YouTube timeline and not necessarily from a subscription. So look at the video. Somewhere underneath it, you'll see my little picture as a sort of clickable object. Click on the picture. That will actually take you to my channel. When you go to my channel, look across where you see home, video, about, and click on the tab that says community tab. You'll see a post that I put up yesterday, I think, asking you if you would prefer to do the Zoom on a Saturday or a Sunday. So far, I think Saturday night is winning out by maybe about 10 percentage points or something like that. We're looking to spend about 60 to 70 minutes. Shout out to all of you who I actually called out in that section. I believe Miss Cynthia Faison, who does some of her own retightenings. Tons of you I've talked to who do your own retightenings. Havutu, Sister Ali, who has been a diehard since the beginning. She's a diehard with the oil. She's a diehard with support. She's a diehard with doing her own reties. She does her own and her daughter's. Many of you, even if you're a loctician, this is an invite to everyone who wants to participate. We'll take or have as many women as the Zoom will hold at my particular membership level. I think it may be 100 people. So first come, first serve. If we get 100, great. If we get 5, great. Our sister Armada, shout out to you. I know you do your own reties. I can't remember everyone at this particular moment, but many of you have sent texts to my phone telling me your story. Of course, the beautiful Priscilla. And you're right, I think it's your last name, Miss Priscilla. You know you have to show up. But what I want to have happen is If you have a lock or two that you can save for that particular retie, I'll save a couple of mine to demo for us how you do your reties. But more importantly, to give us tips for those of us who may be afraid to venture out and do it, for those of us who need extra support in doing it and becoming self-reliant. God bless the child who's got his own. Baby, when I say he's got his own money, I mean he's got his own money. First person to tell me what line or what movie that was from is going to get a giveaway of the Uti, okay? The original flavor. Baby, when I say he's got his own money, I mean he's got his own money. So, if you need extra support, if you need a tutorial and you need someone to actually show you, come armed with your glass of wine or your glass of sparkling apple cider, your sense of humor, and your desire to learn and your desire to share. Remember, when we're on Zoom, the most important thing is that you have light. So you should either be facing a source of light. If it's the window, let the window, you be facing the window and your camera be in front of the window. That's going to be the best way for you to show up bright. If you were going to, I was going to say if you can be outside, but if we're doing it at 7 o'clock, if you're in the right time zone, you could be outside doing it and using natural light. But the most important thing is that we be able to hear you. So you have your volume turned up. You make sure you have a decent speaker on your phone or your computer. And also you just want to make sure that the outside environment is very quiet. I will probably mute the outside environment, which will allow whoever is on camera, their audio to come through. So as you talk, you will be the focus of attention in terms of how Zoom will feature you or how you will be the source of the video at that time. It won't be me unless I'm talking. When you begin to talk, the video will be on you and everyone else in the audience will be there. So you'll be able to chime in. Those of you who are going to be on will be able to type your questions in the chat. You'll also be able to raise your hand in the Zoom and comment. But again, it's to provide support. Some people are having to learn to do their own hair for any number of reasons. You don't want to be caught out there and not have a clue about how to do it and have to do it, or find yourself in a situation with your loctician and again be out there and have an emerging situation where you are not able to get your hair done in the time frame that you would like to be able to, and you can't see the forest for the trees, and you need to be able to take your locks under your own hands and do it yourself. Now, so it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. More than likely it's going to be the last part of February or early March. That's the only thing right now that works with my appointment schedule, but it will be on either a Saturday or a Sunday. I'm game and I can plan my schedule based on what the majority of you feel will be the day that you want to do it. Hi, baby. Hello, Albie. Hello, Albie, baby. Hi, Mama. Go out there with everyone else, baby, and leave Mommy alone. So these things are very important. Go ahead, baby. These are very important. And why are we doing that? Because you need to know how to do your own hair. You may not want to do your own hair, and that's beautiful. I don't want to do mine, but do I know how to do it? Yeah, push comes to shove. Do I want to experience what I experienced when I moved way out here to the boondocks and went to that lady in Macon in all of her arrogance after she married 6 of my locks and didn't even really want to accept responsibility for it? Which brings me to the point. Shout out again to the beautiful Rosalind. Shout out to the lovely Vicky, the lovely Montoya, and the multitudes of the rest of you all that I've been talking with off and on over the last few days. I have a few stories I want to share that are from some of the sisters. And it's really important stuff. It's all the more reason why this is a timely discussion. I believe it was, maybe it was Miss Vicky yesterday who said we need to take care of our own hair. It was either her or Rozs who said you need to take care of your own hair, and that their hair began to thrive more when they began to do their own hair. I believe it was Miss Vicky. Rozz's hair has begun to thrive more when she took her hair into her own hands. I talk a lot about being vigilant on this channel. I talk a lot about being your own counsel and your own advocate. I talk a lot about being an active participant in your own rescue, because there are going to be many times through this journey that you're going to need a rescue. Trust me. Been there, done that, still doing it now. I'm not out of the woods. I've had these locks now going on 13 years, right? I'm not out of the woods. Anything could befall me at any time. Let's face it, I'm in a higher risk category maybe than some of you are because of the fact that the locks are getting longer. My scalp has had to withstand more just through sheer time, which is why I'm so vigilant with those oils, the I Am Melanin Magic oils, because I already know if I hadn't been using those oils all these years, ever since after my first year and a half or two, my hair wouldn't have bounced back the way it's bounced back. I've colored it, I've picked it lint, I've broken locks from picking, and just I've taken some locks out and re-locked them down because of my OCD. Y'all know how I am. So you need something. You've got to have something to put back what you take out. But today we're talking about what you take out in the way of rituals that we subscribe to as a part of this journey. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. This style, whether you call it Microlocks, you can call it any type of lock you want. This is an at-risk style, meaning there are certain things that are going to interject on your journey that are going to cause you to have to make decisions around your hair and what is the healthiest thing for your hair. It is an at-risk style because of some of the rituals associated with this style, namely, especially those of you who are being told not to put any oil, but the rituals that are being associated with this style, namely the retightening, whether it's the retightening schedule, whether it's the way your loctician is doing the retightening, or whether it has to do with the quality of your retightening. It's too tight to your head. You go home 3 days later, you're having to take Motrin still, you have a headache, your scalp is inflamed, your scalp is red, you're losing hair, it's thinning, you don't really believe that you have any hormonal issues or there's anything genetic in your line. By way of looking at your mothers and the other women in your family, you don't really have any reason to believe that you have issues that would normally cause hair loss with or without your locks. Also, you may have lost locks, you may have cut them off, you may have given your hair a rest, had it to grow back, which also proves that you don't have an issue, that it's the style or it's your loctician. So what has come to my attention through a few of the sisters I talked to over the weekend, things are getting pretty crazy out here. When I first started the channel, I know that a lot of you would come to me and you talk about some of the outrageous things that were going on. I think the most outrageous I heard was one loctician putting crazy glue on a lady's hair so it would stop slipping. And then the other most outrageous thing I heard was someone leaving 3 to 4 inches out. All right, that to me was insane because mine were locked all the way to the end. And it was me who was opening up my ends because I like, what they call them, goddess curls or whatever. And so I guess I finally did all of them because I finally trained them. I don't have to worry about that. Every now and then I'll see a little ball forming and I just take it off. But you all have said a lot about the nature of some of these quack locticians, some of these professionally negligent and irresponsible locticians, and some of these wannabe business owners / entrepreneurs / hairstylists, cosmetologists. Even someone told me yesterday about a brand ambassador. And y'all know we have issues around all of this. We talked about various things. But the focus of this is to share with you a couple of stories to help you to try to understand why you need to arm yourself. I personally don't see the marketplace leveling out anytime soon until those of us on the front lines, you, me, your friends, your other sister lockers, decide that we're not doing it anymore. Okay, we had a story that, I forget, maybe it was Sparrow or Cynthia, I can't remember the name. You know, a bathroom break happens and she looks at 20 of her locks that are on the table. And I said this and I'll say it again. If I pay you for a retightening and you cut my hair, you went outside the scope of service, especially if you didn't ask me. It's one thing if you asked me and I said yes, but if I get up, and I've got 20 locks on the table, and each lock holds maybe, I don't know, it could be 40, 50 strands of hair. Then you've taken off 800 strands of my hair without my will. And yeah, we're going to have to do something about that because I didn't sign up for that. So it has to come to a point where a person, even if they are unethical, trifling, unconscious, and just a piss poor business person, has to realize that they have some culpability if they make a wrong move. Our hair is serious business. It's no different than leaving the doctor's office and feeling violated because the doctor has done something that he or she was not supposed to do. It's serious business, and until people are begin to be held accountable, these are the kind of problems that we're going to have. And I'm very serious about this because that's just how bad it's getting. So we had one story where Sister Rozs was looking for someone to do her locks. And she found a person who was willing to travel from the California area to her area, which is Chicago. Oh man, I left my notes upstairs. Oh, Rozs, you're going to kill me. I got to tell you about Rozs. She has a beautiful business. It's called A Little Herb Will Do. L-I-L, Little Herb Will Do. Now, .com. Go there and get all manner of things. She has a wonderful elderberry tonic and so many other things. She links up those of you who are naturalists and who are into alternative healing products, be they for the hair or otherwise, and she formed like a hub where you can get your products. So please check her out. I'm going to put her in the pin it in the comments. But she also lives in Chicago, and she is currently looking for a loctician. If you're in the Chicago area and you do locks, but you're not in the South area of Chicago, she is looking for someone to do her locks. You need to put a comment. I'm going to pin her contact information, but please place a comment in the comment section because she needs someone to take over her locks. She had a lady coming in from California who installed the locks. This was a lady who she felt was conscionable because the lady had a story herself about how she had had locks and certain things were not done the right way, blah, 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 blah. And she would install her locks. And then after the install, she would, the payment would encompass her being able to come and get her first retightening. Roz's hair is about like this, okay? So, Rozs, trust her. Rozs has a reason to think that she is legit. So Rozs says sure. As the install commences, Rozs is asking why 2 inches of her hair is being left out. So let's see, you know, your hair can look like this, but when you pull it out, it can be like this. So let's say Roz's hair is like this. 2-3 inches is being left out. She's being told that because of her hair being very fine and very soft, that by locking it all the way down to the end, the locks would be too heavy on her hair. And so instead, let me twist the bottom few inches of your lock. Okay, if you've heard of that before, please let me know. I've heard of them being left out. I've never heard of them being twisted to preserve the hair because the hair is going to be too heavy for the lock. That's the whole point of the Sisterlocks, isn't it? That the locks are light. And for sure, unless you get to be this length or longer, that's not something you really have to worry about, to my knowledge, but I could be wrong. I don't profess to have all the answers. Put it in the comments, please. Let me know what you think about that. So Rozs proceeded, later beginning to question if that made sense and what is that about. So you're having these situations where people are supposed to be certified to do the style, and they're not doing what they need to do, and because they don't want to go all the way down, they're taking shortcuts. Then the lady just kind of disappeared. Rozs hadn't been able to find her ever since. She has the money for the install, which also encompassed a follow-up retightening. And Albie, let's go. Go on out. And here it's time. It's been time for the retightening. She's not responding to text messages. She's not responding to anything. So we have an issue here. These are the kinds of things that are going on. The same story, and I'm going to talk about what Ms. Vicky shared, involved people going to people for retightenings who say that they know what to do, and then they get their hair washed and it wasn't braid and banded, and when they ask what is braiding and banding, the person says, I don't know. when they ask, when do I need to come back? The person says 3 months. They haven't even had the locks in for half a year yet. Someone says that, you know they're not a legitimate person that's supposed to be representing Sisterlocks, because for sure, you know, even though I've told you I've waited 3 months on a regular basis for at least probably 5 years, I was doing it between 10, 11, and 12 weeks, primarily maybe between 11 and 12. Look how far I am in my journey. That's certainly not something I would recommend for someone who's only had their locks for a few months. So you have to be careful. You have to be wary. And just because it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, and talks like a duck, doesn't mean it's a duck when it comes to Sisterlocks. I'll say it again. Just because it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, and talks like a duck, or looks like a Sisterlock person, they act like a Sisterlock person, they talk like a Sisterlock person, doesn't mean that they're a Sisterlock person and they know what they're doing. Miss Vicky's story, she's been going to the same loctician for numerous years. She's had her locks, I believe, for over 7 years, and she begun to notice a proliferation of fallout, thinning, and problems with her locks. She had been complaining for some time to her loctician, who was failing to bring any kind of resolution to her concerns. These are people that we love, we trust, we think we mean something to them because they mean something to us. Sorry about that. Love Molly, love of my life. I have to call you back, babe. So these are people that we trust, that we love, that we endear ourselves to, or so we think, and to be dropped like a hot potato, or to be shown very little concern or very little acknowledgement. Someone mentioned this in the comments, and then I'm going to get back to Miss Vicky. It's not so bad that you make a mistake and we experience the fallout. Our problem, I think, with most of us is that we want some acknowledgement. When you married my locks, I don't need you to tell me that you've only been doing it for a short amount of time, and in another year or two, you'll be the best loctician in the whole country. I don't need to hear that. What I need to hear is something that sounds like, oh, you know, I'm really sorry. You really did? Wow. Well, why don't you come in to the office and let me untangle those for you, and then let me also look to make sure there's nothing else that's married. Let me check you out. I'm very sorry about that, and let me give you a $25 off coupon for the next time as a show of faith and gratitude for your patience. That's how you resolve customer service problems. That's diplomacy. That's what we real business people do. What we real entrepreneurs do. Those of us that deserve to be practicing and participating in commerce and trade across borders. This is serious. So Miss Vicky's concerns were not assuaged, and eventually Miss Vicky called to say that she would not. Well, she canceled an appointment. And the next time her previous loctician reached out to her, it was to wish her a happy new year, but she never asked, okay, why? What happened? You know, is there anything I can do for you? How's your hair coming along? So Miss Vicky is now doing her own hair, and she says her hair is thriving now that she's taking care of it. Your hair is always going to be better off when you're taking care of it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if your grid is jacked up beyond recognition. Your hair will always be better when you're taking care of it. The same way your child is going to be better in your arms than they would be in the arms of the daycare center, the sitter, or anybody else. Okay, unless it's your grandmother or someone. And you also know if your grandmother or your mother is doing your hair is going to be in good hands as well. But unless it's someone that you can be sure with beyond a shadow of a doubt, you need to understand that oftentimes these liaisons tend to be temporary up and until you have a problem. And you being the client, when you have a problem, you're looking for a solution. You're not necessarily looking to get rid of that loctician. But a lot of times, based on what you all have been telling me, when you bring your problem to your loctician, they're not so much looking for a solution like you are. They're looking to get rid of you. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And shout out to all the wonderful locticians out there. Efraj, Naka, my two locticians, they're extraordinary, which is why they're always full. I don't have problems with them. When I have a concern or an issue and I discuss it with either one of them, it is resolved to my satisfaction. If I say, Efraj, oh, that hurts, guess what? She takes that feedback. She takes that feedback. If that's what you want someone who can be empathetic, who can put themselves in your shoes. But if you can't find that, you may need to stop and to take the time that you need to take. And that's what Miss Vicky's doing. She may do 2-3 hours one day, the next day 4 or 5 hours. Guess what, y'all? If it means When I do the front of my head, it might take me an hour and a half if I do it consistently and I don't stop and take breaks. Okay, that's nothing. If I had to do a section of my hair over a 5-day period, I would do it if I had to. Even if I don't have to do it, I feel like I need to do it again within the next few months. I need to show myself and prove to myself again, okay, Tanisha, you can do this. I know it's intimidating, but you can do it. You did it before. Maybe I need to roll my sleeves up and do it again. And I'm saying the same thing to you. Each of these ladies is having grave concerns like many of you are, and many more of you have horror stories beyond recognition. So now you're looking at your hair and someone has left out half of your lock and giving you some cockamamie story about why that's okay. Or when you have a concern, suddenly no one will pick up the phone. You call the website, one of the sisters called the website, the brand, left 3 messages, has heard absolutely nothing. Those people also in her search for looking for another loctician has made one call after the other, including a brand ambassador, at least one. No one picks up, no one answers the phone numbers are disconnected. Why is this stuff still up on the site? And you won't acknowledge our concerns. You won't put people up there who are on the site. You're selling all of your regular locticians up the river, and you're talking about a brand ambassador thing. Well, isn't everyone an ambassador for your brand? Everyone that is certified is an ambassador technically for your brand. So maybe you have to put quality control in place, but something needs to be done, and clearly it's not being done. So that means the onus is on us. We're on the front lines. It's time to start making some noise. It's time to start holding people accountable. When they mess your hair up, they are not going to be continuously, should not be allowed to just get away with it and go on to the next person while they hide in the dark, and then you go back and pick up the pieces. These are things we have to talk about. So in that vein, I want you to pay attention to the next series of videos that'll be coming out over the next few weeks. I will be announcing the date and time of the Zoom. I'm inviting all of you to come in and participate in that Zoom and give us feedback, give us tips, tell us what you do, tell us how you do it, model what you do, model how you're doing it, share. Come to talk to us about maybe how, oh, Albie, you probably have to go outside to go potty. But it's raining. I know you're not going out because you're scared of the rain. Ever since they cut my baby's hair, y'all, they gave her a buzz cut about 2.5 years ago. You do not cut a German Shepherd's hair because they have double layers of hair. They gave my baby, we asked for a trim, a tiny little trim, and I forget what the reason was for it. There was a reason for it. And they kept my baby, she looked like she had a crew cut and was going to the military. She was not right ever since. That whole weekend she sat like this and wouldn't go outside to the bathroom. She was like Samson who lost his hair, lost her power. Ever since she's been afraid of the rain. And now she's developing a fear of grass. Can you imagine? And that's where she needs to go to the bathroom. She's developing a fear of the grass. My baby, she's lacking that melanin. I always joke and say that's my baby's biggest problem. She has no melanin, or she doesn't have enough of it. But anyway, y'all, so come on the Zoom, share with us. I will announce the date. Go in the community tab. I will repost that same shout out, which is a poll, over the next few weeks so that we can get more input on whether or not we want it on a Saturday or a Sunday. I was thinking you guys would want a Sunday, but it looks like it's going to be a Saturday evening. We want to try to keep it down to 60 or 70 minutes. That's what will work with my schedule. So we want everybody to also be able to have a chance to share, and we'll do what we can because we probably will need to have multiple numbers of these. Bring your tool. Like I said, bring your personality. For those of you who just want to sit on and soak up the guidance, you know, bring your notebooks, have a glass of wine, whatever it is, get your CBD, whatever it is you need. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will talk to you again in the next video. The next video, more than likely, we will get back to this hair thing or that hair thing with Sister Cornwell, okay? Loving on you always. Shout out to all of y'all who I sometimes don't mention. Doesn't mean that I've forgotten about you. It doesn't mean that I don't love y'all and show love for you and gratitude and much appreciation for you, because I do. It's just at 51, you become forgetful. So have a beautiful day, y'all. Go out. I send you as sheep amidst the wolves as you're out there trying to fend for yourself in this sea of Locticians and lack of knowledge and rumors and ignorance that exists out here. We need the brand to speak up. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, afternoon, and evening, whatever time that you are seeing this. Don't forget to go by IamMelaninMagic.com and get your products, okay? Much love to you. If you need to reach out to me, look in the comments, well, the description, and you'll see multitude of ways to get in touch with me. If you have not purchased my Manifesting Your Masterpiece book, please do so. Love it on you. Bye.
Hey ladies, do you love the way your skin looks and feels? I know I do, because I am using the I Am Melanin Magic Anti-Aging Serum. And at 50, I love the way my skin looks and feels. This blend is bomb. It renews, revitalizes, rejuvenates, soothes, conditions, moisturizes, tones, brightens, and fades all in one step. So if you're ready to get your glow on, go get you some I Am Melanin Magic Anti-Aging Serum.